a torchbearer for dreamers, guru with a childlike desire for learning, role model with fascinating charisma. This is Dr. Mrs. YGP in rainbow forms for all of us. A mother-like figure to all who have interacted with her, she is a sparkling example of determination, compassion and strength who instilled a sense of self-respect into her children. It is an absolute honor to celebrate the incredible life of the stalwart. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Vasumati, Cultural Secretary of PADMA SESHADRI BALA BHAVAN, wholeheartedly welcoming you all to Day 12 of PSBB Vidya Shakti. In tune with our dear founder's maxim, more things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of, this SOMA VAARA special is dedicated to the deity of the day, Lord Shiva.
Vidya Shakti Medha Shakti Kalashaya Shakti
Vidya Shakti
Men may come and men may go, but PSBB will go on forever.
Tirujnana Sambandar, born in Sirgadi, is one of the most prominent saints amongst the 63 Nayanmars. When he was 3 years old, it is believed that Lord Shiva appeared before him. Goddess Parvati fed him with milk of wisdom, after which this prodigy started singing Todudaya Seviyan, the first verse of the Tevaram. Let us listen to Priyadarshini, PSBB KK Nagar.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. தோடுடைய செவியன் விடையேறியோர் தூவெண் மதிசூடே தோடுடைய செவியன் விடையேறியோர் தூவெண் மதிசூடே காடுடைய சுடலை பொடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கள்வன் காடுடைய சுடலை பொடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கள்வன் ஏடுடைய மலரான் உனை நாட்பணிந்தேத்த அருள் செய்த ஏடுடைய மலரான் உனை நாட்பணிந்தேத்த அருள் செய்த பீடுடைய பிரமாபுரமேவிய பெம்மானிவன் அன்றே பீடுடைய பிரமாபுரமேவிய பெம்மானிவன் அன்றே
Music heals, can move us to tears, be strengthening and sweepingly mesmerizing. When it's laced with devotion and reverence, it's divinely melting. Let's listen to flute maestro Atul Kumar PSPP KK Nagar alumnus, batch 1997. He has composed a Tilana, dedicating it to our Kalaivani, Dr. Mrs. YGP.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. சங்கீத ஞானத்தை அருள்வாய் கலைவாணி சரணம் நினை பணிந்தேன் சரசாங்கி அருள் நாடி பதம் நாடி பாதம் பணிந்தோம். Dr. Mrs. YGP is the Kalaivani of all our hearts. அருள் நாடி பதம் நாடி நாங்கள் பாதம் பணிகிறோம். It is a tribute for Mrs. YGP. I would like to present a Tilana which is composed by me in the ragam Sarasangi in this lyrics.
Next item is Mallari. Mallari is a passage of Sollukathis set to certain raga, usually Nattai or Gambhira Nattai. Mallari as a musical composition is played on the Nadaswaram at the beginning of the Purapadu of the presiding deity of a temple. Jyotsna Akhilan, batch 2020, will perform the item Mallari.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. There are 100 reasons as to why Dr. Mrs. YGP ma'am is an inspiration to all of us. But one reason that sets the others apart is her curiosity and enthusiasm to learn even from her youngest students. Today, I am able to fulfill my dream of becoming a dancer and pursue a degree in arts management only because of the enormous encouragement I've received from PSBB and the fact that I grew up in an environment where arts and academics went hand in hand. This is my humble tribute to the great visionary.
அருமறையோன் ஓமா எல் குணமுடையோன் நித்தம் அருள் தருவோன் சரண் சிவன் தயல் அமலல் அமுதல் அறிவல் அதிகுணல் அதிசயல் அதிரதல் கணமுடனே கூடி புலி பதமும் பதஞ்சலியும் ஆனஜதிகளுடன் கடலமிடும் இறைவனவன் தீர்த்தும் நம் தகதினதா தீர்த்தும் நம் தகதினதா தும் தகதினதா தும் தகதினதா தும் தகதினதா தும் takadinata tajam 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 takajam 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 takitajam 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 tadinginda to tange tadinginda to tange tadinginda to tadinginda அத்தல் சித்தல் அருமறையோ கோமானின் குணமுடையோ நித்தம் அருள் தருவோன் ஹரன் சிவன் நயன் அமலன் அமுதன் அறிவன் அதிகுணல் அதிசயன் அதிரதன் கண்ணமுடனே கூடி புலி பதம் பதஞ்சலியும் காண ஜதிகளுடன் நடனமிடும் இறைவனவதத்தே தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தஜம் 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 தகஜம் 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 தகிதஜம் 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 ததிங்கிண்ட தோதாங்கே ததிங்கிண்ட ததிங்கிண்ட தோதாங்கே ததிங்கிண்ட 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 அத்தல் சித்தல் அருமறையோன் ஓமான் என் குணமுடையோன் நித்தம் அருள் தருவோன் ஹரன் சிவன் நயன் அமலர் அமுதல் அறிவன் அதிசயன் அதிசயன் அதிரதன் அன்னமுடனே கூடி புலி பதம் பதஞ்சலியும் காண ஜதிகளுடன் நடனமிடும் இறைவனவதத்தே தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தொம் நம் தகதினதாம் தஜம் 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 தகஜம் 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 தகிடஜம் 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 ததிங்கிட தாங்கி ததிங்கிட ததிங்கிட தாங்கி ததிங்கிட ததிங்கிட ததிங்கிட.
Dance and music are finely woven soft strands of rich silk. So too is the soul of PSPB with the artistically inclined alumni. Alumni of KK Nagar have come together to make this musical offering to their dear YGP ma'am, Ramamritam, in praise of Lord Rama in Raga Kapi and Aditalam, a composition by Vanamamale G.S. Swamigal.
दीनवत्सल दयाजते रामा दीनवत्सल दयाजते रामा दीनवत्सल दयाजते रामा दीनवत्सल दयाजते वरदानशील को वरदानशील को वर्णवाण जानकी रमण दशरथ वरीश वरद हरे राम जानकी कौशिकमगसं रक्षणकर कौशिकमगसं रक्षणकर गौतमकान्त निजरूपवर गौतमकान्त निजरूपवर महित महेश्वर महित महेश्वर चापगण नगर महित महेश्वर
pride at the sight of our students. Similarly, the thought of PSBB and the founder drenches our alumni with warmth and joy. They truly value YGP ma'am's principles and are ambassadors of PSBB School of Thought. Let us listen to Vijay Mohan Sajja, Silicon Valley veteran, semiconductor industry specialist, batch of 1973 Nungambakam, Chella Krishna, advisor to business families, batch of 1996 Nungambakam, and Priya Ganesh, head of transformation, Asia Pacific region, Cap Gemini, batch of 1992 KK Nagar, and feel motivated.
Thank you PSBB for this unique honor of speaking about my interactions with Mrs. YGP, a person who has functioned as school education's last word for several decades. It is interesting to make comments at a time when the new education policy speaks on the need to reduce the importance of rote learning and seeks to reach the point of how to learn rather than what to learn. My interactions and debates with Mrs. YGP centered on the need for learning yoga, moral science, and TM at a time when it had not become so mainstream in society. She told me that we hardly use a portion of our mind and that the tools for greater human achievement lie in the utilization of this hidden potential for which yoga and TM help. She spoke to me on Deepak Chopra's work on the ageless body and timeless mind during my 10th standard and a particular illustration of how it enhanced his tennis playing skills and his overall powers of concentration. Tim Ferriss, the world's preeminent life coach, talked about the need for transcendental meditation as a key to the success of ultra achievers just a few weeks ago. I was reminded of Mrs. YGP's views while hearing Tim Ferriss and was amazed at how she had brought something so futuristic and defining into a campus in Nungambakam eons before such practices have become a cult. At a time when other schools are trying to reduce rote and move to extracurriculars, Mrs. YGP had already moved from rote to extracurricular to the how of learning 30 years ago. It was then that I realized that she had even ventured into things like building mental capacity, which is virtually, in today's telecom lingo, 5G. It would be ideal to therefore research her writings, her learnings, and her observations to perhaps draft not just an education policy, but a framework for human learning and the development for decades to come. We may be avoiding years of unnecessary trial and error in this field if we can merely apply her thoughts, ideas, and learnings. Mrs. YGP was without doubt the oracle in the truest sense of the word.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My name is Priya Ganesh, alumnus of PSBB KK Nagar, batch of 1991-92. First of all, kudos to our school for starting Vidya Shakti, the perfect tribute to the life and times of Srimati YGP. So many of our alumnus who spoke about their fond memories with ma'am recalled so many instances, so many joyful memories of their times with her. They really bring to the fore her ability to connect with people, irrespective of whether they were a child, the student, the teachers, or her peers. And that is certainly the testimony to the person whom Mrs. YGP was. I think the high point of the school life was when Mrs. YGP used to make one of her impromptu visits to PSBB KK Nagar campus. The way she used to walk, the awe she carried as she came into the campus, her ability to make those rapid fire decisions, her ability to connect, make things happen instantly, those used to be the stuff that legends were made of. And as a student, if we were called into the principal's office, especially when ma'am was there, those were the things which you spoke about or made your entire day, if not the entire academic year. As the class monitor, class 12, I don't even recall what the instance was when I was called to the principal's office, but I recall how she made me feel. She really listened. I do believe there was a problem or an issue which we were discussing, which was brought to the principal's attention when ma'am was there. I recall she really listened to me. She listened to my ideas. She exchanged notes with me. even made me feel like she was taking my advice. For a very shy teenager, that was a big high that a person whom we were looking up in awe of was actually sitting opposite to us and patiently not just hearing us, really listening to us. What a game-changing moment it was. It made me want to give my best, and I realized that's why every student, everyone who met her always wanted to give their best for her, because she made sure that she listened to you with empathy. That is the legacy which I hope I had learned from her, instilled in myself, and I'm taking forward not just in my personal life or professional life, but into everything which I do as part of my daily life. To all my fellow PSBBians, the emerging students, the emerging great minds, I hope you take this opportunity to think back on all the valuable lessons which you are learning, which if some of you had already had an opportunity to interact with Srimati YGP, to carry forward that legacy in every action which you do. The gift of empathy is the greatest gift which we can give to our fellow beings, and that's the biggest lesson which I had learned in my interactions with Srimati YGP ma'am. I thank our teachers for this great opportunity to interact and meet up with the other fellow PSBBians and indeed all members who are associated with the PSBB group. Thank you, respected ma'ams, for this opportunity. Thank you, dear students, and good luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Good day to all teachers and fellow Bala Bhavan Vidyarthis. On this first anniversary of her beloved headmistresses, Mrs. YG Parthasarathy, Mrs. YGP as she was fondly called, one word describes her: entrepreneur. She was a true entrepreneur in every sense of the word. She showed determination, motivation, innovation, and perseverance in making PADMA SESHADRI Bala Bhavan a renowned school all over India. I joined the school in 1968 as an 8th grader. What surprised me on the first day of school was the prayer in Sanskrit to Lord Ganesha. As you all know, on each day of the week, a prayer was dedicated to one of the Hindu gods. Prior to Bala Bhavan, most of the schools were Jesuit schools where you prayed in English to Jesus. This distinguished the schools socially and culturally and set it apart from the prior generation schools. Mrs. YGP had an excellent eye for talent. She recognized very early on that without good teachers, she would not be able to motivate us to excel. She recruited a lot of talented young ladies to teach us. She respected all our teachers, and to this day, remember each and every one of them. Recently, with the help of our Alumni president, Mr. Shiv Kumar, I was able to see many of them on a video conference call and talk to Mrs. Sushila Raghavan and Ms. Malati. To this day, when I talk to my friends and co-workers about Bala Bhavan, I become very emotional. My most memorable conversation was with a co-worker who was 20 years my junior in Bala Bhavan, Ashoknagar branch. She was shocked to hear that I was going to Chennai specifically to attend Mrs. YGP's 80th birthday. She could not understand the bond I had with the school and teachers. Such was the power and influence of Mrs. YGP over my life. I will always be grateful to her for making me what I am today. Thank you, Mrs. YG Parthasarathy. I am Vijay Mohan Sajja from the 1973 matriculation batch. I did my BTech from IIT Kharagpur. After my MS working in Silicon Valley, I contributed to the development of many consumer and industrial semiconductor products. Thank you. Bye.
Opportunity knocks at your door now. Students of 6, 7 and 8, hurry! Register individually in the Inter-School National Level Quiz, a class apart. Dr. Mrs. YGP Memorial Quiz launched on her first Memorial Day. Let us watch the upcoming video for more details.
The first ever PSBB National Quiz, the first ever, a class apart. The Dr. Mrs. YGP Memorial Quiz. individual participation, an inter-school quiz to kindle your intellect. A unique opportunity. Launched August 6, 2020, blessed by the esteemed Vice President to the iconic educator Dr. Mrs. YGP, a tribute. It's national level quiz time, folks. Put on your thinking caps and join the knowledge tribe. Great cash prizes are waiting. Last date, 20th August. For registration, it is free at the PSBB website. Students of classes 6 to 8. So gear up and register and enjoy the excitement, the thrill of GK and puzzles, the joy of giving right answers. Pick your brain. The buzzer beckons at the first ever A Class Apart. The winner bags 20,000 rupees and the 3 finalists 10 each.
This brings us to the end of today's program. It is always the simple that produces the marvelous. Our beloved Dr. Mrs. YGP embodies simplicity and a down-to-earth nature at its very core. Her values will forever remain the building blocks of PSBBN principles. Thank you for tuning in today. Please do join us tomorrow at PSBB Vidya Shakti 6 p.m. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Vidya Shakti.